My name is Emily. I'm 22 years old. And this is how I took revenge on the girl who tried to steal the future. I worked my whole life for. I was sitting on the edge of my dorm bed, my hands shaking as I scrolled through my emails for the 100th time that day. Everyone else in my program had already posted their official scholarship confirmation letters online, smiling selfies with the envelope, hashtags about dreams coming true. Everyone but me. My inbox was empty. I told myself maybe it was delayed. Maybe there was some mistake. But the pit in my stomach said otherwise. Just then, my roommate Vanessa breezed in, humming like she didn't have a care in the world. She was clutching a stack of mail, fanning through it like it was nothing. Just junk, she said casually, tossing it on her desk before flopping onto her bed. I forced a smile, trying to ignore the gnawing feeling that something wasn't right. Vanessa was always polished, always smiling, the kind of girl who never seemed to struggle for anything. And she had a way of looking at me, at my effort, my ambition, like it was something she wanted to own. Hours later, long after she'd fallen asleep, I got up for a glass of water. That's when I saw it, a crumpled envelope poking out of the trash can under her desk. My name on it. My heart stopped. Hands trembling, I pulled it out, smoothing the wrinkles. It was my scholarship award letter. The letter I'd been waiting for. The one that confirmed everything I'd worked years for. Hidden in the trash like it was nothing. I stared at it, the blood pounding in my ears. She had taken it. She had tried to make sure I never saw it. Never claimed the opportunity I had earned. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. My entire future had been sitting in the garbage because of her. I looked straight ahead, my chest tight but my voice steady in my mind. Asterisk at that moment, I knew. She wasn't just my roommate. She was my enemy. But she had no idea who she was messing with. Asterisk, do you want me to continue with asterisk part 2? Character backstory and present setup 700 to 900 words. Asterisk next. I grew up in a small Midwestern town. The kind where everybody knew everybody. And dreams usually didn't stretch much farther than the county line. My mom raised me on her own after my dad left when I was 3. She worked double shifts at the diner, her hands always smelling of coffee and fryer oil, her feet swollen by the time she came home. We never had much. Some months it was a fight, just to keep the lights on. But she always told me the same thing. Emily, education will be your ticket out. Don't let anyone take that from you. Those words became my compass. So I studied harder than anyone else I knew. Not because it was easy. It wasn't. But because quitting wasn't an option. I stayed up late after closing shifts at the local grocery store, highlighting textbooks until the pages blurred. I turned down parties, sleepovers, and weekends off so I could keep my grades perfect. Every time exhaustion whispered that I wasn't cut out for this, I remembered my mom's tired smile and kept going. By the time I graduated, I wasn't just top of my class. I was the first in my family with a shot at a top university. When I finally got in, it felt like proof that all those sleepless nights, all those sacrifices, had been worth it. I stepped onto campus ready to fight for my future. That's when I met Vanessa, my freshman year roommate. She was everything I wasn't. Rich, effortlessly stylish, with perfect nails and the kind of confidence that came from knowing her parents had donated a wing of the library. She seemed friendly at first, pulling me into her world like I was a project she'd decided to take on. She dragged me to parties I never would have gone to on my own, laughed about how serious I was, and told me I needed to loosen up. At first, I thought she was helping me, that maybe she really did want to be my friend. But then the cracks started to show. She'd wrinkle her nose at my thrift store jeans and say things like, "You're cute, but we have asterisk to get you some real clothes." In class, she'd casually repeat ideas I'd shared with her the night before and soak up the professor's praise. While I sat there, stunned, she'd joke about me being the charity case, constantly reminding me that financial aid was the only reason I was even in the same room as her. I brushed it off, told myself I was being sensitive. I wanted to believe we were friends, that she saw something in me worth keeping around. But the truth was, Vanessa didn't want me to succeed. She wanted to control me, to keep me in my place while she shone. And I couldn't see it yet. Not until the night I found my scholarship letter in her trash. Still, I admit now, I thought we were friends. I thought she wanted me to succeed. I couldn't have been more wrong. Do you want me to move straight into part 3? Inciting incident 600 to 800 words ***, where Emily confronts the reality of Vanessa's betrayal. The scholarship I'd applied for wasn't just any award. It was *** award. A full ride, merit-based scholarship with only one spot available in my entire department. I'd poured everything into that application. Hours writing and rewriting essays. Stacks of volunteer hours. Sleepless nights perfecting projects and pulling together recommendation letters. It wasn't just money. It was the key to making my dream possible without crushing my mom under a mountain of debt. And when I found that crumpled envelope in Vanessa's trash, I felt my entire chest cave in. The letter was mine. The scholarship was mine. She had known, and she'd tried to make it disappear. I waited until the next morning, my hands trembling as I held the letter. Vanessa was leaning casually against her desk, scrolling through her phone. When I finally asked, "Why was my scholarship letter in your trash?" she barely looked up. "Oh, that? You're overreacting," she said with a little laugh. "Maybe they sent it by mistake. Anyway, you wouldn't have fit in with that crowd. Trust me, they're not your type." Her words cut deeper than the betrayal itself. Not only had she tried to steal my future, but she acted like I didn't even deserve it. Like all my years of grinding, sacrificing, and clawing my way here didn't matter because I wasn't born into her world. I stood there, my throat tight, trying to swallow the rage and humiliation burning inside me. She smirked like she'd won, like I'd just let it go. That night, I buried my face in my pillow and sobbed, the kind of tears that come from more than pain, from years of fighting uphill and finally being shoved back down. But through the sobs, something else flickered to life inside me, a fire I didn't even know I had left. She thought she could erase me with one piece of paper. She thought she could keep me small, keep me out. I whispered into the dark, my voice raw but certain. She has no idea who she's messing with. If she thinks she can steal my future, she's about to find out I'll take it back. And then, some. Do you want me to continue with *** part 4? Rising tension? Emotional conflict 1001 to 00 words ***, where Emily begins plotting her revenge while wrestling with the fear of losing everything. The weeks that followed were some of the hardest of my life. While I scraped together change to buy ramen and pulled late-night shifts at the library just to cover rent, Vanessa floated through campus like a queen. She flaunted her new designer boots, posted endless photos from parties I wasn't invited to, and dropped names of professors and donors she claimed to know personally. Meanwhile, whispers began circulating through the department that I hadn't made the cut for the scholarship. that I wasn't as strong a candidate as I thought. I knew exactly where those rumors came from. Vanessa didn't just want to take the award. She wanted to humiliate me. Every day was a battle not to break down. I'd sit in class, hearing the snickers, pretending I didn't notice when people glanced at me with pity. At night, I'd close the library, walking home under the flickering street lamps, my body aching with exhaustion. And every time I let myself collapse on my bed, I saw the same image. My mom at the kitchen table back home, her head in her hands as she stared at another stack of bills. I remembered the way she used to press my hair back from my face after double shifts, whispering, "Education will be your ticket out." The thought of letting her down, of letting Vanessa win, was unbearable. I thought about reporting Vanessa, about telling the board she'd hidden my letter. But the truth was, I had no proof. It would be her word against mine, and I already knew whose word people were more likely to believe. She was the donor's daughter, the golden girl. I was just the girl from nowhere with thrift store clothes. But if there's one thing my life had taught me, it was this. When the door is slammed in your face, you don't stop knocking. You find another way in. So I made a plan. I pulled together every scrap of evidence of who I was and what I'd achieved. My grades, recommendation letters, volunteer records, awards. I wrote an email to the scholarship board directly, requesting a meeting. I didn't beg, and I didn't whine. I simply told them I wanted a chance to speak for myself, to prove I was the right candidate. For days, I barely slept, combing through my portfolio, rehearsing what I'd say. Every memory of being overlooked, every hour I'd spent working instead of resting, every time Vanessa had smirked at me only fueled my determination. This wasn't just about money. It was about taking back the future I had bled for. The night before the meeting, Vanessa leaned casually against her bed frame while scrolling through her phone, her voice dripping with disdain. "Face it, Em. People like me get ahead. People like you. You're just filler. You make the rest of us look better." I didn't answer her. I didn't give her the satisfaction of a reaction. I just stared at my notes, my pulse steady. Inside, the fire roared. Later, lying awake in the dark, I whispered to myself, "I'm not filler. And tomorrow, I'll prove it." I didn't sleep that night, not because I was nervous, but because I was ready. Do you want me to move into Part 5? Climax. Twist 801,000 words where Emily faces the scholarship board and delivers her revenge. The morning of the meeting, I walked across campus, with my folder pressed tight against my chest, my stomach twisting but my steps steady. When I entered the scholarship board's office, the panel of professors and administrators looked up from their papers with polite curiosity. I sat down, took a deep breath, and began. I laid out my case calmly, methodically. I showed them my transcripts, each grade a testament to years of sacrifice. I handed over letters from professors who had seen me stay after class, who knew the hours I'd put in. I slid across the records of my volunteer work, the weekends I'd spent tutoring underprivileged kids instead of going to parties, the community projects I'd helped organize. And finally, with my voice steady but unflinching, I told them I had never received my award letter. I paused, then added quietly, "Not until I found it discarded in the trash." The room went silent. I could see the shock on their faces as they exchanged glances. One of the administrators flipped through the file in front of her, then looked up at me with wide eyes. "Emily," she said slowly, "according to our records, you were selected as this year's recipient for a moment. I couldn't breathe. My ears rang. But I never got the letter. I managed to say. The chair of the panel leaned forward. The official announcement hasn't been made yet, which means, as far as the university is concerned, the award is still yours, if you accept it. I nodded, tears stinging my eyes, my throat too tight to speak. After everything, after weeks of feeling like my dream had been stolen, it was mine. Weeks later, the award ceremony was packed. Students, professors, donors. The whole campus seemed to be there. I spotted Vanessa near the front, dressed like she was about to receive the award herself, her parents beaming beside her. She hadn't expected me to show up. She definitely hadn't expected what came next. When the dean called my name, the applause roared in my ears as I walked onto the stage. Vanessa's smile froze, her face draining of color as I accepted the full-ride scholarship, the one she had tried to bury. Cameras flashed, students cheered, and for the first time, I stood tall with the recognition I had earned. I didn't look at her as I shook the dean's hand. I didn't need to. The truth had already spoken louder than I ever could. As I held the certificate, I narrated quietly to myself. Asterisk, I didn't have to humiliate her. The truth did it for me. Asterisk, would you like me to continue with asterisk part 6? Resolution / empowerment arc 600 to 800 words asterisk. Showing how Emily's life changes after reclaiming her future. After the ceremony, Vanessa tried to spin the story, her voice sugary sweet as she told anyone who'd listened that she must have accidentally misplaced my letter. But it was too late. The whispers had already started, and the truth had a way of clinging. Professors who once seemed dazzled by her charm now kept their distance, their smiles cooler, their praise more measured. Students who used to orbit her stopped inviting her to their study groups and parties. The golden girl's shine was dimming, and no amount of designer clothes or practiced smiles could bring it back. I didn't waste my time gloating. I didn't need to. My energy was finally where it belonged. On my studies, on the future I had nearly lost but fought to reclaim. For the first time since arriving on campus, I stopped walking with my head down. I wasn't chasing approval anymore. I was proving to myself that I belonged, not because of a last name or a donation check, but because I had earned it. Every grade, every late-night study session, every lecture I stayed awake through despite exhaustion was mine. When I called my mom to tell her the news, her voice cracked before I even finished. "You did it, baby," she whispered through tears. "You really did it." I could picture her sitting at the same kitchen table where she used to cry over bills. Only this time, her tears were from pride. That moment meant more to me than the applause, more than the certificate. It was the proof that her sacrifices, and mine, had been worth it. Looking back, I realized revenge had never really been about destroying Vanessa. She would handle that herself. It was about taking back what was mine, about standing in the light without apology. She tried to erase me, to throw my future away like a crumpled envelope in the trash. But I rose anyway. Revenge, I reflected, wasn't about destroying Vanessa. It was about proving to myself, and everyone watching, that no one could take away what I earned. Do you want me to close with asterisk part 7? Final moments / emotional close 300 for 100 words asterisk, where Emily delivers her last powerful message to the audience. I looked straight into the camera, my voice steady and sure. If someone ever tries to steal your dream, don't give them the power to decide your future. Fight for it. Because no one can erase hard work, not even the people who want to see you fail. I remembered the weight of the certificate in my hands, the roar of applause as I crossed the stage, and the stunned look on Vanessa's face as she sat frozen in the audience, unable to hide her shock. That moment wasn't just about winning a scholarship. It was about proving that no matter how many obstacles were thrown in my way, I would not be broken. My lips curved into a small, determined smile as I finished. My roommate stole my scholarship letter, so I took her spot anyway, and I'll never let anyone steal my future again.